Well, the U.S. Supreme Court today officially overturned Roe v. Wade, leaving the decision to allow or ban abortions up to the individual states. The highest court ultimately decided that a Mississippi law that forbids abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy is constitutional. The decision led to a mix of emotions from both sides outside of the Supreme Court today. Hawaii now one of 16 states in the country protecting abortion and women's rights. But experts say there's still much the state needs to do to provide equal access to and for women. Jen Beniza reports.
Hawaii's state constitution protects a woman's right to have an abortion.
We're really on our own now, is what this means, is that it's up to us here at the local level in Hawaii to protect the right to abortion. So that leaves us feeling, very vulnerable.
While the state constitution safeguards abortion laws, it can be changed.
If the political winds ever shifted here over time, then Hawaii could have the ability to be able to either change their constitution or change their laws in order to be able to outlaw something like abortion.
Chin says the chance of that happening is unlikely, but he says the federal government could withhold funding, causing problems for states trying to uphold specific laws. Hawaii was the first state to make abortion legal in 1970, several years before the U.S. Supreme Court adopted Roe v. Wade. Many of Hawaii's lawmakers are still fighting for that right. U.S. Senator Mazie Hirono says it's a horrific day in America. The Supreme Court was confronted with a fundamental question: who should have control over a woman's body, a woman or a bunch of politicians? Governor David Ige calls the Supreme Court's decision outrageous and a huge step backward for women's rights, assuring everyone that women in Hawaii will continue to have access to the health care they need. Women's rights advocates say we still have a long way to go.
For example, private insurers can deny coverage for abortion, which is very expensive for women here in Hawaii. So we are not by any means a sanctuary for abortion.
Planned Parenthood promises they will never back down and will keep fighting to ensure everyone can access the care they need to control their body and life. There are concerns overturning Roe v. Wade is just the beginning, after Justice Clarence Thomas said the Supreme Court should reconsider past rulings regarding birth control, same-sex relationships, and same-sex marriage.
What these justices say, it really does matter. And it affects how laws are passed within the different states, and it affects people's mindsets about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate.
I think that it's scary that the right to physical integrity is not valued.
Jen Beniza, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.